How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see in today's video, we're going to do a POV bit of a drive for you. I'm also going to talk about the next coming updates for the car. Obviously in my previous video I installed my flappy paddles, as you can see, the paddle extensions, my LED number plate lights, and also, what else did I install? And the number plates themselves, my personalised plates from Platefather. Firstly, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's recently subscribed. I've had quite a lot of new people subscribe to the channel, which is amazing. It's always good to see. And it seems like a lot of you are enjoying my content as well, so it's really good to see. We're getting so close to that 1,000 subscriber mark now. Well, I think I'm literally like 15 away or so, so hopefully in the next, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks I'll hit that 1K mark, and that'll be absolutely amazing. But going back to today's video, I wanted to do a bit of a drive for you. But I will quickly mention, in 2 weeks' time, my car is booked in for a injector refurbishment and also a carbon clean. So until then, I'm not going to absolutely rag the crap out of the car. Obviously, I want to demonstrate launch control for you today and have a little bit of a spirited drive, but I'm going to be a bit careful. I'm not going to be going absolutely crazy. I want my injectors to be done first anyway. For those of you who don't know what I'm on about, with the 8Ps, this generation of RS3, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not too up there with the knowledge yet on these bits, but the injectors on the RS3 8P, I believe the filters are made of plastic and they can somehow melt or deform in some way, and obviously causes your injectors to not perform as they should. And long story short, they can cause a big impact, not in a good way, on your engine. And I think it specifically affects cylinder 1, the pistons. It can get affected quite badly due to misfueling because of the filters that are damaged. So when I get it refurbed, each injector will be put into this machine so you can see the spray patterns of the actual injectors themselves. Make sure they're working properly, and just make sure that they're doing as they should be. So the injectors will be refurbished in the sense that the baskets or the filters will be stainless steel rather than plastic. Spray patterns will be checked to make sure they're actually injecting fuel as they should be, and just make sure it's all working correctly. And in terms of the carbon clean, my inlet manifold will be taken off and they'll walnut blast all of the crap carbon that's built up inside. So it's just something reassuring to have done to your car. I didn't actually intend to film this evening. It's actually a Friday evening. I've got back from work at around 5 o'clock. I usually film on a Saturday and post on the Sunday, but seeing it's quite a nice evening, I thought it would be a good opportunity to stick the GoPro right to my forehead, looking like a melon with my hat on, and film for you today. So if you see any people giving me weird looks, that's exactly why. Just going to let the car warm up a little bit, and have a little bit of fun. As you can see there, I've got my boost gauge and oil temperature. Obviously it's best to let the car warm up properly first. As you can see, I've got my engine temperature in front of me and my oil temperature on the digital display below the boost gauge there. So I thought during this video as well would be a perfect opportunity to give you my, I think it's, how long has it been? It's been 1.5, no, has it been 1.5 weeks or 2.5 weeks? It's been 2.5 weeks since I bought the car. So I'm going to give you like my general first impressions of it. And honestly, I can't fault it at all. It's absolutely amazing. It's just an absolute beast. It's so much fun. At the start, like I said in my first video, I wasn't too sure about the whole automatic thing, but then I know if you've got a high powered automatic, you can kind of justify it being an auto. You can still have a lot of fun in it and not being boring. There's so much you can do to these cars. There's so much potential, and you can just have so much fun in them. I'm really looking forward to taking it down to my local drag strip when we're allowed to. Perranporth drag and drift. Stick this again on my forehead, look like a muppet, and see what the car can do down the drag strip. And that's 60. This car's built so well, you don't realise how fast you're going. A lot of you are going to say a load of crap in the comments now. My BMW, although it was just a poverty spec, well, not poverty spec, even though it was just a standard old 320D, the build quality of all German cars in general are just next level. You can be going at the national speed limit, you can be doing 60, and it doesn't feel like it. My ST again, that had so much fun in the car, but you did feel all the vibrations, little bumps, and it did feel like you were going the speed you were going, if that makes sense. But in this car, you can be cruising around at 60, 70 on the bypass motorway, and you don't feel like you're going that speed at all, so you've got to be really careful. You got to keep glancing down at the speedo and make sure you're not being too naughty. I'm not sure about you guys who own these cars as well, but I always drive with the flappy paddles. Unless I'm like half asleep on the way to work, I'll just stick it across in drive and let it all do for me. But 9 times out of 10, I've always got the paddles on the go. It's just so much more fun. It's more engaging, especially if you've got an auto, because you kind of lose that driving experience in a way. You can kind of justify it with the flappy paddles. So what's next on the list in terms of cosmetic upgrades or changes to the car? One thing that I've already got at home, which is a really, really random one, you're probably going to wonder what the hell am I on about, is my rear passenger side window. As before I bought it, I was aware of it anyway. The window itself has got 3 big scratches on it. So I did a little bit of looking around and I found myself a window for 20 quid. So I'm not sure if there's anyone out there who wants to know how to fit a power window, an electric window to their car. I have no idea myself, but I usually pick it up as I go along. Just for the sake of content, and for anyone out there who might want to see it being installed, I'm going to stick that on and put it on the channel. So that's at home. Pick one up for 20 quid. It's in better condition than that one. It's pretty much perfect apart from one tiny little scratch on it, but this one is pretty buggered. You've got 3 big scratches on it. And then also, the first thing I want to buy ideally is a front splitter from Maxton Designs. Eventually, as I briefly mentioned in the last video, I want to do front splitter, side skirts and rear spats. And then ideally I want to stick some wheel spacers on there. I've done a little bit of research in the forums on Facebook, and it seems like 11mm is the way to go, as they're not that far from the arches anyway from standard, but apparently 11mm spacers are the way to go. So we'll get that done as well. And then eventually down the line, once I've used as much warranty as possible, in the sense that I've got 6 months on it, I don't want to void it just yet, but when the time comes, the first power modification will be a cold air intake. There's the argument of, is an aftermarket intake actually going to benefit the car? Obviously there's stuff to consider like heat soak and all that kind of stuff. Unless it's a proper enclosed system, you've got the potential of breathing in or sucking in hot air from the engine. Obviously it's right in the engine bay, and these open naked cones, obviously known for sucking in hot air. You're paying 300, 400, 500 quid for an induction kit, and it does nothing but make the car underperform. The RS3 8P airbox is very good from standard, but I do want a bit of induction noise, and I want to find the right intake system that is going to allow a bit more power. So when I do eventually go down the stage 1 route, it's going to benefit it rather than just having a stock intake. And I think, from what I've seen, I like the look of the CTS turbo boxes, or intake systems I should say, sorry. They're all enclosed, but there isn't a top panel. Bit of a late indication there, I wasn't thinking where I was going. There isn't a top box on the actual cone itself, however there are heat shields all around it, and it is boxed off, and it still uses the stock, what's the word, breather pipe, the stock snorkel, I guess you could call it. It's just such effortless power. It's actually crazy. Videos and whatever never do justice. You've got to really be in the car to experience it. And to think this is stock as well, obviously it's the most powerful car I've owned. I'm pretty sure it's the fastest accelerating car I've been in. I've been in a 500 brake horsepower E92 M3. It's got more brake horsepower. Saying that, the fact that it was tuned, obviously it's an NA car, but you can still tune it to a certain amount, that would probably beat this. But a stock M3, I think the 0 to 60 is on paper is the same. But that M3 is the most powerful car I've been in. That's shout out to Reese if you're watching this, mate, which is unlikely, but you never know. Good friend of mine had an E92 M3, that thing was absolutely amazing. I think you might appreciate me just not talking sometimes and a little bit of driving, so please excuse the silence, but I'm sure some of you will like it. So windy though. I'm trying to get a bit of exhaust noise for you, but it's so windy. Talking of wind, that's probably the most annoying thing that I suffer from in my videos. I film everything on my iPhone 12 Pro, but I need an external mic for it. I don't know if anyone in the comments can suggest a good external mic I can use, so when I'm filming outside, you don't just hear constant wind noise all the time. I feel like I'm apologising every other day for the wind noise. I film a clip, I go to edit it, and all you can hear is just like, might as well be blowing down the microphone. It's nice to see some of the original subscribers who were like first there to sub 11 months ago on the channel, still commenting and seeing my videos now. Obviously a lot of you were there obviously for the Mark II Focus ST, and now you're here for the RS3, which is pretty cool. Again, there's a lot of new people here, which is pretty cool to see as well, so really appreciate everyone who subscribed recently. Once again, we're so close to 1,000, so make sure you hit that sub button. Please like this video if you do enjoy it, guys, and if you want to see more content on this car. It just lets me know that you are enjoying what you're seeing. Obviously, I know at the minute it's just like little baby step videos on the car, but after lockdown, when we can actually properly do some stuff, I've got some great content coming your way. Really want to get, as much as it's so annoying for me because I really love doing install videos. It's probably my favourite thing. It's the thing I've done most on this channel, installing performance parts and cosmetic parts. But because I've got this 6 months warranty on this car and I'm still learning about the car, and I don't really know too much of the ins and outs on them yet, I want to make sure it's all good before I start voiding it with parts. So I want to make the most of this 6 months warranty, do as much cosmetic stuff as I can, and then when it comes to installing induction kits, exhausts, downpipes, sports cats, intercoolers and all that good stuff in the future, that's when I think people will start enjoying it a little bit more, because that's the nitty gritty stuff of cars, like performance parts. It's just so much fun. I love it so much. That's another point. Those number plate lights I've installed in last week's video, even though in the description they specified and said they're error free, they're not error free. It's just come up on my screen again. So I got a full refund. They let me keep them. I know that if you have certain diagnostic software you can code it out, but I don't have it yet and it's quite a lot of money, so I will get that. But however, in the meantime, they've refunded me. I've bought another set which say complete 100% CAN bus error free, so fingers crossed they actually are CAN bus free and I won't get this crappy light every 10 minutes. They look mint on the back, especially at night time, but that error code is so annoying. Now I've got my washer fluid and bloody number plate lights flashing, lit up like a Christmas tree. What I'm going to do a little loop here, go back down the causeway and demonstrate you with launch control. I'm only going to do one for the sake of these injectors that are going to get refurbed. The last thing I want to do is bugger up the car before it actually gets fixed. I say fixed, it's not broken, but get it properly sorted for some reassurance. Gets there so fast, so stupid. This is exactly why I want to go to a drag strip. They're limited, I believe they're limited to 155, but you usually get about 160 out of them, if I'm correct. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I suppose each car is going to slightly differ, even though they have got this electric limiter on them. this is the little tunnel I was talking about. It's the national speed limit here again, so. Jeez. Actually, we'll go over here. Wanted to get out and have a little walk around with the car. The point of view perspective, it's just started to rain and it's dark, so not sure how this is going to turn out. As you can see, the rear lights are insane, as in the new number plate lights are fitted. The thing is, these Bs, because they're 4D, they're so bulbous, it casts a massive shadow and it's almost not illuminated, which I guess is one of the reasons why, I think it's September, the DVLA legislation is going to change and the laws are going to change, and anything other than normal flat plates won't be legal. It does look mint. So nice. The short plates at the front really set off those arches. It makes the car have that wider presence because there's less at the front, if that makes any sense. It's a bit of a contrast. Anyway guys, I reckon I'm going to wrap the video up there. I know it's a bit of a short, brief POV, giving you a brief update on what's to come for the car. Once my injectors are all done, refurbished, carbon clean's done, it's also due a service in June at Audi. So once all that's done and my reassurance is up, it's just started pissing it down, I'm gonna get in. Once all those little bits are done, I will do a proper good drive. There's some amazing roads here in Cornwall, national speed limits the whole way, coastal roads, pretty much the same route I did in my BMW actually, but obviously you can have way more fun in this car. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. First POV drive in the car, and the first time you've been in the car in terms of on this YouTube channel anyway. Lots more to come, like I've said many times already. I'm really excited for this content, so I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime guys, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.